Hey, what is going on, my beautiful people? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to
America's greatest,
the legacy of our icons. Now, I had to do that a little bit different because that name sounds so bold to me. Now, this is a project we've been working on for a couple of weeks now, and we actually have some amazing people that I'm going to be bringing to you each and every week. I've done research on over 300 people so far, so I have a ton of information that I'm looking to share with you guys, but you can find all of the information in the link below if you go to thewestsidegazette.com. Like I said, I'll be placing that link in the description. I'll also put this on the video here for you guys to check out, but I'm just going to be highlighting a few key points from everybody that I do a little bit of research on, where I can kind of relate to the story or understand the story, or I think it's just remarkable and something I need to share with you guys. So the first person I'm highlighting today is Madam C.J. Walker. And the reason I'm highlighting Madam C.J. Walker is because she has one of the most amazing stories of overcoming and resiliency. And I think it is very important that we share these stories with each other, so that way we understand sometimes the things that we're going through aren't as bad as we think they are, and that we can always overcome. We have to push that positive energy out there, and as you can see, I got on my Positivity Pays t-shirt. Also, the reason for the black and white is because we're going back in time. So on these videos where I go back in time, I will be doing them in black and white, making them a little bit different for you guys. So without further ado, I give to you the story of Madam C.J. Walker. Born on December 23rd, 1867, Sarah Breedlove was the only family member who was not born into slavery. Now, I believe she had 4 brothers and sisters, and obviously 2 parents, and everybody was born into slavery except Sarah Breedlove. Now, as I said, she was born in 1867. A lot of you know that the Civil War was fought between 1861 and 1865, so Sarah Breedlove was only 2 years old at the end of the Civil War. Now, her parents, Owen and Minerva, hope I'm saying that right, Breedlove, were both slaves who eventually became sharecroppers, and due to the lack of money and the circumstances at the time, the environment that they were in, Sarah was unable to go to school, which makes her story a little bit more remarkable to me. Now, so at the age of 5, she began working on a farm with her parents, and just 2 years after she began working, at just 7 years old, both of her parents passed from yellow fever, making young Sarah Breedlove an orphan. As you can see, the challenges started for young Madam C.J. Walker, or Sarah Breedlove, very early in life. In 1882, when she was only 14 years old, Sarah married her first husband, Moses McWilliams, and 3 years later, at the age of 17, she gave birth to their first child. Now, the story takes another tragic turn, because soon after she gave birth to that first child, a daughter, Lelia, I believe her name was, her husband passes. So now, young Sarah Breedlove is a widow with a young daughter and living a very rough life because she didn't have much money at that time, and obviously no education because she was unable to attend school because of the color of her skin. And obviously they didn't have any money back then. So I thought this was really bad and couldn't get any worse, but shortly after that, young Sarah begins to lose her hair. Now, this was very tough for a young woman to be going bald at that time. And so Sarah figured out a way to help herself. Sarah actually began finding ingredients and mixing them together, like coconut oil and olive oil, and massaging them into her scalp until she figured out a concoction of ingredients that helped her hair grow back. Now, Sarah began growing her hair back, and this is really where this story gets remarkable for me, because all the way back in the 1800s, Sarah Breedlove decided to become an entrepreneur. Okay, so she decided that she was going to make more of this wonderful hair growing product and became an entrepreneur. And this right here is this decision is what changed her life forever. And this is why we know her as Madam C.J. Walker. At this point, she began selling her products door to door to other women who were having a similar problem as her. Then in 1906, she married again to a man named Charles J. Walker. Okay, I say that because Charles J. Walker, Madam C.J. Walker, okay, so she decided that Madam C.J. Walker sounded more professional and elegant, so she changed her name and the name on her products. Now, see, that's something I didn't know. I did think her name was Madam C.J. Walker, but it was not. It was Sarah Breedlove, and then after she married Charles J. Walker, she changed her name to Madam C.J. Walker. Awesome. I love that. I love how she overcame, stayed positive, and even utilized the name of her husband at the time for the products, and then just added her own spin on things, and just really things took off for her. Okay, she even taught classes about the process of growing your hair, which she called the Walker system. And by 1915, Madam C.J. Walker was a millionaire, the first black woman in America to ever reach this achievement. Now, the first black woman to reach this achievement on the books that we know of, okay? So Madam C.J. Walker was also very giving with her money, and she donated thousands of dollars just to one project that I found, which happened to be the building fund for the colored YMCA in Indianapolis. We're actually working with the YMCA now in South Florida, so I just thought that was amazing. And we're also working at Walker Elementary and doing a project, a little documentary on Madam C.J. Walker with the children from Walker Elementary. This is just amazing. And also, Madam C.J. Walker helped other women start their own businesses before she passed on May 15th, 1919, at the very young age of 51. So, Madam C.J. Walker went through so much and accomplished so much by the time she was 51, and that's why we know her today as an incredible entrepreneur, because in a short time period and when she became an entrepreneur and she launched her business and became a millionaire, she unfortunately didn't get to enjoy all the spoils that she had earned and worked so hard for. So if you like this information, or you found this helpful, or you would like to help us put out more positive information, please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for your time. Once again, you are tuned in to America's Greatest, the legacy of our icons.